बीजापूरगदेक्षुकर्मुकुरुजापचक्राशोत्फल व्रयग्रस्वपिशान् रत्नकलशैः प्रोद्यत्कराम्भोरुवः ध्येयो वल्लभया सपद्मकरया आश्लिष्टोज्ज्वलद्भूषया विश्वोत्पत्तिविपत्तिसंसदिकरो विघ्नेश इष्टार्धद श्रीनाथादिगुरुत्रयं गणपतिं पीठत्रयं भैरवं सिद्धौघं वटुकत्रयं पदयुगं धूतीक्रमं मण्डलम् वीरान्ध्यष्टचतुष्कषष्टिनवकं वीरावळी पञ्चकं श्रीमन्मालिनिमन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरोर्मण्डलम् माधर्मे मधुकैटभग्निमहिषः प्राणापहारोऽध्यमे हेलानिर्मितधूम्रलोचनवधे हे चण्डमुण्डार्धिनि निःशेषीकृतरक्तबीजदनुजे नित्ये निशुम्भापहे शुम्भध्वंसनि संहर सुदुरितन् दुर्गे नमस्तेऽम्बिके सर्वं श्रीचण्डी महालक्ष्मी श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः सद्गुरुं श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः Welcome all of you for this another session, which is going to discover the Dhyanam of Lalita Sahasranama. Particularly, we are focusing upon the Dhyanam. Before I start with the Dhyanam, there is this clarification that I would like to give, which came from Lata in the last class, the Manikyam, the explanation of the Manikyam that comes in the Dhyanam 1, that is Sindhura Aruna Vigraham, Trinayanam Manikyam Aulispurat. It seems that I have said Manikyam means I have said emerald in English, but it is actually ruby. So maybe that was a mistake or a slip of a tongue. It happened. So you can make a note of this. This is in a way, it was so, I mean, deeply, and I was so thoughtful at that students are going back again into the referencing the video and then looking, correct, and trying to understand, trying to correlate with it. So it was deeply, I mean, I was grateful actually. I was grateful to the students, those who are listening to this, those who have wanted to contemplate, and the kind of comments that is coming in is truly not just encouraging, but it is humbling that we are able to create this space. This Mahavidyalaya is able to a space actually where we are able to go one step closer to Devi actually in every proper way and merely through speculation, but the Shastras, through the foundation of Shastras and how the Shastras have been interpreted by our teachers and how to understand that and how to take it forward. And our Mahavidyalaya is creating that space. And that is very, we are very thankful to Devi and the Guru Mandalam for giving this kind of an opportunity to us. And moving forward, those who are attending the classes from YouTube, students, those who are regular students, those who are not able to be a part of this, please leave a comment in the YouTube so that we know that, because we track the attendance actually for the session and individual attendance, the reflections, the month end assignments, everything is taken into consideration. Those who are looking truly for guidance and going forward for the next levels of the sadhana in the Mahavidyalaya actually. And unless and until there is no systematic track of what's happening around, it's very difficult. If you want to be a free learner, continue to listen and enjoy, and want to be on your own terms of understanding, you are also still welcome. But somebody is really looking forward for guidance, somebody who wants to channelize their understanding and wanted to take it up further. So systematic track record is very important. So just attendance, please mark your attendance by Shri Matre Namaha, or however you would like to write something in the YouTube comment box so that we know that you are there in the class and trying to attend and learn. So let's move forward. So the last class we're discussing about the Dhyanam, and Dhyanam has 4 different kinds actually. And I have explained the first Dhyanam, the second one, and the third one. And we are now in the fourth Dhyanam actually. Sakunkuma Vilepana Alika Alika Chumbi Kasturikam Samanda Hasitekshanam Shachara chapa pashankusham asesha janamohinim arunamalyam bhusham varam japa kusuma bhasuram japa vidau smaret ambikam. So, what the Bhashyakara is explaining us, Bhaskaracharya is explaining to us that Devi has completely smeared herself, like the way it is, it in a sophisticated language, if it is considered to be a foundation, you apply foundation or you apply, just the normal talcum powder, however you consider, she applies something. It is very special. The foundation to that, what she applies is what is called as the Kashmira Kunkuma Pushpam. Kashmira Kunkuma Pushpam is nothing but the saffron, actually. And saffron itself is, it has this very special property, but it is like she makes it much more aromatic, actually. It is like essential oils and everything is mixed together with the purest of the purest sandalwood oil and everything. And that is the base that she has applied to all over her, it seems. And Bhashakar is saying, Amma, you are already red in color and you're applying more redness to yourself, actually. What pleasure you take by doing this. So this is a question. See how nicely that interaction that happens with Devi, in a beautiful, loving manner, actually. We also ask this, right, to our mothers when they get dressed up. Why are you doing, like, why are you wearing this? What is this? Why do you like this color? Like that kind of question. Similarly, Bhashyakara is raising this question. Amma, you yourself completely red in color, actually. On the top of that, Kumkumam Poo is also bringing that red color. And that's the reason Bhashyakara is saying, Bhaskaracharya is explaining the beauty that she is red color. But what happens is that the saffron, originally it is red color, correct? But once, what happens when we extract the saffron, it brings in the yellowish radiance to the saffron, correct? So once she's completely red in appearance. On that, when she's applied that saffron, when the saffron is smeared on her, she's looking like Swarna Vigraham, it seems, actually, with that base of that gold, with the base of the red and that golden color that came out from the pure saffron, actually. Because I hope you would have seen the pure saffron. In for our Mahavidyalaya Upasanas, we are grateful. Some of our students really bring in the purest of the purest items from all over the world. And I have experienced the pure saffron. The pure saffron just turns out to be golden color, actually. It is extracted, the essence is extracted. So Devi, being that red color, with she's bringing out that golden hue, it seems, actually, the way she's appearing. And on the top of that, she's wearing a Swarna Vastram. You understand? I told you, right? She's literally wearing a sari which is gold, made of gold in itself, weaved in gold, actually. And she's wearing Sarva Alankara Bhushani. Sarva Alankara Bhushani means from top to toe she's wearing. And Bhaskaracharya is saying that you forget about she wearing necklaces and odhyanam and bangles and the Chandrachurya, the netras, and then nopurams and vimalams and the three kinds of stud and everything. She's wearing even jewelry, even just look into the style of Devi. She's wearing jewelry even in her knees and all, it seems. The kneecap and all is covered with jewelry, and it is going until the end of her leg. She's covered in complete jewelry, it seems. And she's carrying herself with great sophistication, it seems. It's not that, see, once when we dress up, I generally hear this from all the women, particularly even at home. There's a function, is anything is there, they will say that once I dress up, I can't do anything, actually. That's not fair. And Devi is not saying that, it seems. Like she's completely dressed up, but she's so ease in the way she's carrying herself, it seems, actually. That's a kind of a very natural thing. She is absorbed that alankaram, it seems, actually. And it is not that it is looking something different. It's not that it is looking something extra, but it is completely a part of the way she is, actually. And Bhaskaracharya is saying it's because of the mahal that she is there, actually, the ambience that she is there. You understand, na? The environment is also very important, actually. So that environment, that aura, that space, her simhasanam, her attendees, her attendees are also equally like her, it seems, actually. There's no difference between the her attendees and her, it seems. And when we are getting into the deeper, we will be seeing that we will get the deep descriptions of the Shripuram, how her sabha is there actually, how she is sitting in the sabha and how she is doing Rajya Paripalanam of not of the entire cosmos actually, surrounded by one side her prime minister who is Matangi, and the other side her Senadipati Mahavarahi, how the Sena Sri Chakra Sena, it is called as, how that Sri Chakra Sena is completely governing this entire themes. And there, Bhaskaracharya will be explaining this one beautiful thing which I wanted to tell you all, that when we hear with any distress, we are with any distress and we are thinking about her, that moment when we are thinking, Amma, like, we are thinking from here, and when it reaches her, just imagine, Bhaskaracharya is explaining this so beautifully, that when it reaches her to Shripuram, she will she will just look at Mahavarahi, it seems. She will just look, and Varahi will understand, it seems, what Devi needs and to whom she has to go, it seems, actually. And she will immediately depute her Sena, or rather, if it is that important, means she herself will land up in that space. It means that it is not necessary for the mother to even convey it through words. She will just be able to convey it through her, through her eyes, that she will be able to talk actually to Mahavarahi and Shamala. Actually, it's not that she has to literally talk, because like how many children are there for her actually, and how many children are in that, how many children, like how many of them are truly coming closer and closer to her. It's actually it's actually a trouble for her. That's what my guru used to say, that doing this sadhana, you are actually bringing trouble to Devi in a way, because in a way you are getting to know her very, very closely actually, and you are getting to knowing her closely. What you're doing, you're slowly transforming yourself. Yes or no? That's what we do, right? When we wanted to particularly this happens in marriage actually. There was this time when women had to change. Now even men have to change actually. It's like things have changed a lot. We change ourselves for the other person actually. That is what is all about, love. That is what is all about, you give up a large portion of yourself to get accustomed to a particular thing actually, that you say it sacrifice, you say it like, you name it, whatever it is actually. But similar, that is the same love equation that happens in sadhana, where we are transforming ourselves slowly for her. Yes or no? We are trying uh, with great difficulty, fighting this world, fighting our own vasanas, fighting our own inner self. We are changing, we are constantly changing, and she deeply appreciates, it seems, actually. She deeply values that, it seems. And after a certain time, she feels very dangerous. Oh my God, now it is too much, that I have to do something for this soul, actually. I cannot leave him or her just like that there. He or she has to reach me now, actually. So she starts feeling actually that emotion, that bhakti, that bhavana, that we say bhakti, at the very foundation level, the bhakti that is transforming into what is called as the bhavana actually. Once that bhavana sets in, then you don't have to go at the back of her. She will be at the back of you actually. No matter, even if you உலர்ந்து திரிந்த என்னை உத்தமன் ஆக்கி வைத்தாய். That is what it is actually. You go to any path, you even no, unknowingly you run away from her. She will not leave you. She will pull you back to her actually. That's the reason most of the time what happens, my guru will say this, like, it's a very beautiful thing, students. In the material world, whatever losses that we are it's happening in our life, it is considered to be failure actually. But the same person transforms into a sadhaka and starts the journey of sadhana. Whatever was a failure was actually a path laid for success, because it is that you were supposed to pull to the higher dimensions of Devi actually. Because the one who is going to be so happy with relationships, the one who is happy with money, the one who is happy with name, fame, power, beauty, and everything, why he or she will think about Lalita Mahatripurasundari? You understand? So that sense of limitation, and that sense of limitation which is very naturally present in all of, because this is not the space that we belong to. We belong to an unlimited space actually, and that space is Shripuram. I know. And we have left that space and we came. That's the reason we are in an unlimited space. We are actually not limited, but we are in an unlimited space. So what is happening? We feel that that lessening is always there. Nothing is giving us that santrupti, that santushti in sampurnatvam is not there within us actually. So what is happening once all these so-called failures that is happening for a sadhaka is not truly a failure, that you are pushed back to her actually. All those so-called failures is supposed to take you back to her. Because imagine if all good things are happening to you, why you should follow sadhana, why you should do all these things actually, it is not necessary. So this is the required mindset. And this, honestly, it is not for pacification. Let me tell you, actually, I'm not trying to pacify anybody, or I'm not trying to be an emotional spiritual counselor here. This is what Shastras are talking about. This is what our teachers in the traditions have spoken here, actually. The one whom she wants to save, nobody can do anything to them, to him or her. The ones she doesn't save a person, then nobody can do anything to them, actually. That is the way it is said, actually. That is the way it is put across. So now, with this idea, with this concept, or with this satyam, this truth, we should be able to progress ourselves towards her actually. As I've read in most of the comments, like we have been chanting Lalita Sahasranama for such a long time, but after understanding the Dhyanam, we are able to set in ourselves, we are able to think in a much better manner. Our thoughts are becoming much more channelized when I start Sindhura, Aruna Vigraham, Trinayana, Manikya Mauli Spurat. And it's beautiful, actually. It's beautiful to know how we are able to connect, and we are able to connect because it is purely because of her grace, actually. And if you're able to connect like that, if you're able to express, if you're able to feel, if you're able to go to the next steps, next steps means what? Simple. You and me, we had doing hundreds of things, but when it comes to this 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, how we are naturally sitting in front of this class and wanted to listen. This itself is a satyam. This itself is a truth that she is pulling us actually. And all the Vak Devatas, all the yoginis are actually bringing us closer to her. They are helping us. Unless and until they will not help, honestly, we cannot sit like this to listen, actually. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because they can even bring in obstacles, actually. They can bring in such obstacles that we cannot even come closer, actually. They can bring obstacles in terms of all goody things also they can give you, that you will think that why should I attend this 9 o'clock class? It's okay now, fine. Like, I have something better to do, or maybe I have something lucrative to do. But they are bringing you closer, actually. They are channelizing your mind. They are channelizing your work. They are channelizing your physical space. They are channelizing your emotional space. They are making you to listen. They are making you to contemplate. They are making you to write. They are making you to reflect. This is actually what is called as sadhana. And you're put into that process. And this is precisely the dhyanam that is working out for most of us, actually. And it is manifesting and it is exhibiting, actually. So moving forward, the third dhyanam, as it is said, she is completely smeared herself with the extracts of the Kashmira Kunkuma Pushpam. And from there, in her forehead, with Kasturi Tilakam. Kasturi Tilakam means in English, it can be roughly translated as it is made from musk, actually. This musk is very important in both in Shakta and the Vaishnava traditions, actually. Musk is very difficult to get. It is derived from an animal, actually. It's an extract that comes from an animal. It is very rare. It's becoming very rare. And in today's time, the in Tirupati Balaji, in Venkateshwara Swami temple, they are specially trying to, because this musk is very important for Venkateshwara Swami. That is the only place where they are trying to originally, trying to extract and bring it, actually, because of course, like, he's a big time crorepati, so he has good money, so he uses the best of the products for himself. It seems that in the Tirupati, the temple walls within the Garbhagraham, like 1 inch on the Garbhagraham, every week they will apply what is called as this Javadu. Javadu, that entire Javadu is applied on the four walls, it seems. Just imagine, actually. On the entire walls, it is smeared, and every week they clear it off or something like that. Every week they change or something like that. That's the way That's the way the standards of the deity worship is all about in Tirupati. So that musk, so coming back, this musk is very essential for both Lalita and Krishna. Actually, in both the Shakta and the Vaishnava tradition, this Kasturi Tilakam is something very essential. And applying this, how she, after applying all these things and she is coming and sitting, she is actually, she's not giving any Bayapaham and all. She's not giving any Rajasam looks and all. Like you, she's not sitting in such a, what to say. One second. Sorry about that. So what was I saying actually? I just forgot. Kamakshi. Isha.
Namaskaram, Guruji. About the musk, actually.
Okay, I was discussing about this musk. So this musk is something very essential in both the Shakta and the Shaiva traditions, Shakta and the Vaishnava traditions. Sorry, and it is very essential. These terms of like what is said, that the smell, the goodness of the smell is very important in both Devi and Krishna Upasana. That's what they say actually. And we insist to students, like, more than anything, like, you smell good, and you use better incense, in when you're doing the puja, because that is the way that attraction comes in, basically. So Kasturi Tilakam, and how she is sitting, basically, I remember exactly. So it's not that she's sitting with some gambirata or anything. She's coming and sitting in the sabha, and she is feeling very shy, it seems, actually. Like, everybody's looking at her, right? Actually, everybody's looking at her, and like, oh, like this, and she's feeling so shy, it seems. Actually, she's feeling like a newly bride, actually dressed and came and sat, and she's feeling so shy that the kind of importance, that red carpet importance she's getting, she's not even able to what to say, she's not even able to take it up with a great grandeur, it seems. Actually, she's becoming very shy. The kind of all the importance, all the praise, every kind of praise that they are giving, actually, she's feeling very, very shy, it seems, actually. And how she is seated, this is the Dhyanam that gives the actual Mahatripurasundari picture. She is having a bow which is made of sugar cane, and she's having five different flowers she's carrying in her hand. In her right hand, she's having five different flowers, and she's having a sugarcane bow. They have a deep meaning. What are those five flowers, and why she's keeping them, and how it is interrelated to Ikshu Danda? Why she's having a Ikshu Danda? They all have a deep meaning. We will get into that as we progress. And on the top two hands, she's having Ankusham and Pasha Ankusham. So this is the original Dhyanam of Mahatripurasundari, actually. And this is what we all conceptualize her, and this is what is the famous portraits and everywhere that we see her as Mahatripurasundari. And she is wearing, as we mentioned, this is a very specific space for us, it seems. So she's already dressed in, as we have been explaining, the grandeur, the beauty, the majesty, as far as her costumes, her appearance, and everything is concerned. And people around her, everybody is carrying so many things, it seems, actually, so many, because they're coming to meet the Maharani, right? So the Shastras very clearly say that when you go to meet Guru, when you go to meet the king, and when you go to meet the deity, you're supposed to carry something in your hand. Actually, you're not supposed to go empty handed, actually. And here, all the three are together. She is the Guru Murti, she is the Maharani, and she is the Paradevata. So how can people go empty handed, those who are going? So they are carrying everything, it seems, in the sabha. People are carrying whatever possible, they are all carrying, it seems, actually. And so there, what she is doing, she is accepting everything with great grace. And she is, how she is overall, that sabha, and overall how she is appearing, it is appearing that she is completely smeared in what is called as the color here very specifically further, because Bhaskaracharya is trying to explain to us, you understand, like as he's having the vision, the darshan, he wants that all his disciples, all of them who are listening, to understand this in a better manner. So looking into all these things from a very far, and she's sitting at a very far away space in that entire sabha in the Sripuram, it looks like a beautiful red hibiscus flower has come into life and sitting there and accepting all the offerings, actually. Exactly, like this is the Varnana that Bhaskaracharya is giving, like how a beautiful hibiscus, because she's full of that red color, Bhaskaracharya is putting it like Sembarati Pushpam. Like Sembarati means it is like the hibiscus, actually the hibiscus flower, and she's sitting in that particular majesty, and I am actually meditating upon such a form and such an aspect. So this is the fourth dhyanam that we are having. Moving forward, Bhaskaracharya is explaining to us, or rather instructing us here, one very specific thing. Because now that we have understood the dhyanam, in the first dhyanam, if you see, all of you, that it is ending with how Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Param Ambikam. Okay. And the third dhyanam, if you look into Dhyayet Padmasanastam, Dhyayet Padmasanastam. So, what Bhaskaracharya is saying is that Bhaskaracharya is bringing the difference between Dhyanam and Vandanam, actually. Though Dhyanam specifically means that I am meditating, actually. I am meditating. So, when that I am meditating is coming, then there is ego is coming that I have understood, actually. Bhaskaracharya is saying that that should also not come to us, actually. That moment it is coming, we will fall down from there, actually. Though you have understood and how to be humbled or how to remain grounded, there is the dhyayet should become one day. Where the dhyayet is there, Bhaskaracharya is saying it should become one day. One day means what? Dhyana means knowing it. One day means I am surrendering, actually, or I am doing namaskaram to that, actually. So this is this is the reason why we are supposed to learn from the teacher, actually. The teacher will show us, guide us, actually, how to take it forward. So this is the way. So that smarami is something very important. One day should become smarami. One day iti smarami. Clear? Now moving forward. Makshi. Alipurna Ratna Shashakam. We are going to look into a bit detailed aspect into the Alipurna Ratna Shashakam. Ali means Madhu. Madhu. And Bhaskaracharya is explaining that this Alipurna Ratna Shashakam, that is, Devi is having this bowl, which is studded with ratnas, and it is filled with what? Madhu. It is filled with Madhu. This Madhu is full of life, that it is being surrounded by the wasp bees, it seems, actually, because of the taste, because of the smell, and because of the aura that it is producing, actually. So anything that is true, right? Any good sweets we prepare, we see that's ants coming in, actually. From where that ants will come, we don't even know. Whether you are in the 13th floor, 15th floor, also, even forget about. I remember in a place that, like, this house was in 21st floor, but there ants were coming. So they were asking, like, how did the ants come here, actually? So the answer is that Paramatma has given that required intelligence to these ants also. Wherever the food is there, they will go, actually. That is what is the beauty of intelligence. It's like, it's that is the way it is designed, actually. So here Bhaskaracharya is saying these wasp and the bees are nothing but they were they were actually the purest of the pure sadhakas who have got this opportunity to become wasp or the bees to come constantly surround around Devi, it seems actually. All the great tapasvis, they have transformed into the wasp, and they are what they are able to do, they are able to constantly meditate, they are able to be constantly in the presence of Devi, and they are able to constantly drink the madhu directly from Devi's hand actually. Because in the Sri Vidya Navavarna Puja, we have this particular segment where we invoke Amritam, and we give the Amritam to the Guru, and then we will give it to Devi, and then we will give it to Guru, and then we will drink the Amritam. Actually, there is that particular segment is there when we do the Pujanam Tarpanam. So whosoever has done that with great reverence, with great involvement, what is happening? They are able to go and directly drink the Amritam from the hands of Paradevata herself. Actually, that it is time that we had been constantly giving Amritam to Paradevata. The time has come where Paradevata herself is giving the Amritam to back to the Upasaka who has done Shraddha Bhakti Upasana for many years or many janmas actually. This is the understanding. And the second understanding that comes for all of us is anything that has akarshanam, anything that has attraction is always surrounded by, surrounded by forces or surrounded by people actually. I just recently near my home, there's this shop that was opened actually. I used to see crazy kind of people coming and standing there to eat something. I was thinking what they are selling actually. At the end, I realized they are selling some bun maska actually, bun smeared with some butter actually, and some poured some cream on that. And so many, I just thought to myself, just to eat that bun, so many people are coming actually. But it is something special for them actually. So yeah, so that akarshana, that attraction is something very important. And acharyas are saying that as the time is evolving, or as the Kali is evolving, Shakti Pradhana Upasana will evolve more and more and more actually. Shakti Pradhana Upasana. Shakti Pradhana Upasana means everybody will wanted to come to Devi actually, it seems. Be it material power, be it technology, because as technology is growing, Shakti is the foundation actually. And it is both a boon and it is both a curse. So this boon has to be better. It has to lead to the betterment, and where it has to come, where it has to be curbed, and where it has to be channelized, and where it has to be put to an end, only the Shakti can do it. You understand what I'm trying to say? You would have heard this concept, or you would have read, or even movies are coming up, or so many movies have already come up where robots are taking over our human life. Yes or no? How can robots take over human life actually? So, because there is a Shakti that is working there. Yes or no? Whether it is channelized in the positive sense or in the negative sense, positive or negative, I think we are raising above those standards, because we know that even the samharam, Prodhanam, Anugraham, everything is done by the Shakti only. So the Shakti Pradhana Upasana will get more and more of what to say, importance in Kali actually. And everybody will be naturally attracted towards Shakti, it seems. But the one who is truly gifted, as everybody will be attracted, but the one who is truly gifted, Bhaskaracharya is saying, he or she will be able to attain that Shakti through the Shastra Darshana. Through the Shastra Darshana. What does it mean? The Shastra Darshana means through what the scriptures are talking actually. In today's time, we are seeing so many things that is coming up in the social media actually, in terms of sadhana, guided meditation, upasana, money magnetizing Kali upasana. This is something I saw in Facebook today evening, a poster actually. I really wanted to go and attend that because I want to learn what is that they are going to teach there actually. Money magnetizing Kali upasana. It's also a very nice title also, money magnetizing Kali upasana. So let us try actually, I thought that maybe I will learn and I will teach you all further actually, something, maybe something unique. So you see these dimensions actually, but we have to really understand what is the foundation of the scriptures they have actually. You understand? Okay, fine. We all need money, I'm not denying it actually. But what is the Guru, Sadhu, Shastra? This is the foundation for anything actually. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. We can speculate, no doubt, but it will lead only to speculations, more and more of speculations, actually. Unless and until there is no Shastra Darshanam is not there. That too, Shastra Darshanam, through the revealed aspect by the teacher, it will not lead to any right results, actually. Or it might lead to certain dangers also. Dangers in the sense, it might lead to path that might pull us completely down from what we are trying to do actually. So this Shastra Drishti, Guru Drishti, and then Devata Drishti, like that it has to evolve. Drishti means the vision should flow. Their karuna should come to us, the Shastram, Guru, and then Devata. So that is the way those who are blessed will be protected, will understand the Shastras, and that too based on the Deshakala Parishchinnam actually. Understand, this is something beautiful actually. Based on Deshakala Parishchinnam, whatever the changes, whatever the evolutions that have come in the society actually, for based on them, because change is the only thing that doesn't change actually. With everything is evolving. So when everything is evolving, how the Shastras can be practiced, how the Shastras can be understood, how the Shastras can become a lived experience, that can come the tradition of the teachers actually, that the teachers can explain to us. The teachers are living that, and teachers are explaining how they are living, and they are transmitting that knowledge to us, and we are taking forward actually. So that way we will be able to get the darshana of Parashakti. In that way, we will be able to get the darshana of Parashakti, and that is what is to be understood as the Alipurna Ratna Shashakam. Actually, that we will be able to get the Karunamai Drishti of Parashakti, and that is the real Amritam. Alipurnam. That Madhu is nothing but the Shastra. The Shastra Mukantra Upasana actually, and we are the wasp and the bees actually here. You understand? We are the wasp and the bees. We are going around that Shastra Upasana actually. Got it? Got the understanding that is coming out actually? So Shastram is the Madhu, and we are the bees actually. And we are getting attracted to the Shastra Upasana. Shastra Darshanam actually. We are trying to understand what the scripture is saying, how Bhaskaracharya is, how the teachers over time have practiced, how sadhakas have practiced. In today's time, in today's present times, where I am living, my social, economic, political, physical, emotional, psychological conditions, how can I adopt this? And how can I practice it? And how can I live it? Is what all about the Shastra Darshana. And that is what is called as the Rahasyam. And this Rahasyam is only possible only for those who have the Sampurna Kripa of Parashakti. Unless and until they don't have the Kripa of Parashakti, they cannot understand this secret actually. And here, the secret will also go in another dimension, which I can just introduce and leave it to you. This Madhu is also the reference in the Kalacharam. This Madhu has a very great importance actually. In the Panchamakaras, Madhu is a very important aspect. So there also the traditions are holding secret actually. The secret in terms of how this Madhu is invoked, what is the interrelationship of Madhu with Devi and the Upasaka and the Upasana, and how it is channelized, and how it is to be, how it is used, how it is taken. After taken, what happens? Everything is detailed explanations are there in the Rahasyam actually. And that is only for those who comes to the next levels, and they get the Guru Kripa. The Guru Kripa will lead in those particular dimensions of advanced levels of Upasana. So this is also one of the secret. The first secret is through the Shastra Darshanam, how can I adopt these practices and become a lived experience of Lalita Sahasranama? And the second deeper meaning is how the practices in terms with Madhu, particularly in the context of the Kolacharam, how it is, what is the implication and how it is to be used, and how the traditions are safeguarded, and how it is channelized and taken forward, is what is the idea that is coming from the Alipurna Ratna Shashakam. So when we are talking about this Madhu, this is something which I wanted to mention, that Jayalakshmi Amma and again Lata have mentioned in the comments which I read, that they were talking about Bala Tripurasundari actually, because in one of the previous, the first Dhyanam, Sindhuraruna Vigraha, as the manifestation of Bala, which I spoke in the one of the previous lectures. I want to give a clarification here. You remember I told you the first Dhyanam is deeply tantric in nature, actually, the two-handed form of Mahatripurasundari, correct? It has a deeper meaning actually. So the deeper meaning needs a lot of maturity actually. Maturity in sadhaka actually. Physical, emotional, psychological, sexual maturities are required to get deeper down into the sadhana and understanding, and it culminates with time, efforts, the mantra japam, the upasana, the marga, the paddhati as the direction that is given by the guru, and that is the way it gets channelized. So, but now when I am not ready, when I'm not able to understand, when I'm not able to progress to those dimensions, but still I want to attain that essence of understanding what needs to be done, there the understanding is coming that though it is deeply tantric, and here Devi is introduced as the two-handed form, let us consider her to be Bala Tripura Sundari. Because a child is a child actually. A child, you know, we get attracted to the child as a child. There is no other further implications. You understand what I'm trying to say? So though it is deeply tantric, it has very high esoteric meanings associated, but it is better we see the two-handed form as Bala Tripura Sundari. And in the second Dhyanam, she is Taruni Tripura Sundari. Taruni means she's a young girl. From a small child, she's becoming a young girl. Like Bala means you imagine 3 to 5. Taruni means around 9 years. Okay, 9, 10 years, Taruni. And then from Taruni, she's becoming what is called as, she's becoming the she that Taruni is what she is becoming, what is called as Kamalatmika in the third Dhyanam actually. Kamalatmika because Aishwarya Pradhaini, because that is what we are all desperately wanted. So Devi is becoming what? Kamalatmika. Mahasodashi. Mahasodashi is the Sukshma Tattvam, but she's Kamalatmika there. Mahalakshmi. And from there, from Taruni, from there, she's becoming in the fourth Dhyanam. Ultimately, she's becoming the Mahatripurasundari. Nothing but a 16-year-old girl. She's not crossing 16. Remember that. She's always 16, 14 to 16 years old. She's not like us. Sweet 16. So, Bala Tripurasundari, Taruni Tripurasundari, Mahatripurasundari. So, that way the evolution is taking place actually. Clear to all of you? That is what I actually made you all understand, because there is a child's action. It is not necessary that we interpret all the actions of the child, or do we try to understand everything that the child is doing. No, we will not do that actually. We will try to see it from our perspective. Later, as the child will grow, then we get into the child's perspective. Correct or not? So similarly there, so therefore, though we are not able to understand deeply, it is still fine. It's a child concept for us, and the child is Bala actually. So, but still we can get closer to Bala because Bala is child actually. That's it. And from there we will slowly evolve further, actually. That is what is the ideas that we are getting. Now let's go for further forwards. The Ratna Ghatastha Charanam. Charanam Ratna Ghataha. So it's a pot made studded with ratnas. A pot which is studded with ratnas, and the 9 kinds of laws are there, actually. 9 kinds of laws which is governing the world. Navanidhi. And it seems those 9 laws are there in that pot. And what Devi has done, she has kept her feet on those laws, actually. Navanidhi. And this Navanidhi is there below the feet of Devi. So what it means? Shripuram is the court of justice, and she is the justice, actually. Shripuram is the court, and she is the chief justice, actually. Chief of the chief justice. And she is giving justice for what? Justice to deliver us from this material world. Justice to deliver us from the knee signs. Justice to deliver us from our sorrows. Justice to deliver us from all the troubles that we are undergoing. Justice to deliver us from our ajnana, from the knee signs. And the Navanidhis are carrying that, actually. So that is the laws, actually. All the laws are under her feet, actually. She has literally kept her feet on that, actually. Got it? And because of this concept, because she is the justice and all the laws are under her feet, and she's sitting, that darbar is what is called as the court of justice. So that entire manifestation is what is called as the prapancham. That entire concept is the prapancham, and that prapancham itself is under her feet. So therefore that ratna ghatam is nothing but the entire cosmos that has manifested, that she has manifested, and she's keeping it under her feet, which means that we all are under her charanam. We all are under her lotus feet. Now the question is coming. Some of you who are intelligent, we will ask this question now. Sir, which feet she has kept, sir, on that pot? Has she kept both the feet? If both the feet she's keeping means, sir, in most of the pictures I have seen her crossing one leg and keeping other leg on the top and sitting. So what is the truth behind this? Tell me, sir. Telling, sir. So this form, because we have explained the hands and everything, hands have come in, right? Actually, what she's carrying in the hands and everything. So now the description of legs, Bhashyakara is given. Bhaskaracharya is explaining that she is who she is actually, who she is. Mahatripurasundari, correct? Parabhattarika, Jagat Janani, Jagan Mata. Like that, we can keep saying another Sahasranamam for her, actually. So ultimately, she is that Shiva Shakti Swarupini. Shiva Shakti Swarupini. Shiva Shakti Aika Rupini Lalitambika. That is what it is said. So the 2 legs that she's having, the left leg, one second. Okay. The left leg is red in color and the right leg is white in color actually. The left is red in color and the white is and the right leg is white in color. So this has a very deep meaning actually. This has a very deeper meaning. In the Sampradaya Guru Dhyanam, we say Srinatadi Gurutrayam Srinatadi Gurutrayam Ganapatim Pitatrayam Bhairam. Not this one. Vande Gurur Padadvandam Avangha Manasa Gocharam. Lalita saying Rak Shukla Prabha Mishram. Raktam and Shuklam. So she is the Jagat Janani Jaganmataha. Left is nothing but the male identity. The left is all about the female identity, and the right is all about the male identity. And both is in one single form. The entire idea of reproduction, that is the srishti coming in actually. In outwardly, explicitly have to be said, the white represents semen and the red represents the blood actually. There's the semen and the blood coming together to create the srishti actually. The jananam coming out of janani. See, both the masculine and feminine is she herself actually. There is no independent entity that is coming out. Even that independent entity, Shiva, is her own Swaroopam actually. So that left leg, which is her leg, exclusively in that sense, that red feet, that she has kept on the loss. And the right one she has folded and kept near her, exactly folded and kept near her reproductive part actually. And that also have a very deep meaning why she has kept like that and what does it signify and everything that cannot be definitely revealed at this session. You have to come to the very next levels of the dimensions of understanding, then it will be very well fit enough of the understanding. So why that red and the white understanding actually, this is all about the padukas actually. At this stage, this is what can be revealed at the fundamentals. So the left and the right, Shiva and Shakti coming together, and she is that one Swaroopam, which is Sampurna Swaroopam. She is that Sampurna Swaroopam. If anything that is Sampurna means she is that Sampurnam actually. Okay, we are not Sampurnam actually. None of us are Sampurnam. None of the Devatas are also Sampurnam in that sense. She is that Sampurna, that Prapancha Shakti. That Prapancha Shakti is Eka Shakti only. It cannot be Dvi Shakti actually. It can become Dvi, Three. It can multiply further actually. But she is that. So this is the core Shakta philosophy actually, students. And this is where the debate will come with the other schools of thought. From the Vaishnavas will debate, the Shaivas will debate, all the debates will come here. But from the Shakta understanding, this is what it is actually. This is where the philosophical crux is there actually. And she is the one who is holding actually. Even there, you see, that's what Bhashyakara is saying very clearly. Even there, she has kept it with her motherly aspect only. She didn't give it to the fatherly master, because there, if the fatherly aspect means all the logics will come into existence. Yes or no? If you ask some 10 rupees to your father, he will ask 100 questions. But if you go and say, Mummy, 10 rupees, they don't know. She will not even ask you, okay, fine, go take it. Yes or no? We are all very comfortable with mother. Now somebody will say, I am very comfortable with my father. You are comfortable with your father because he has motherly expressions actually. Please understand. It's beyond the gendered idea, what I'm talking, being a mother or a father here. It is not based on the biological identity. Please understand. Mother is mother it's in a very what to say, it's very in a very normal sense. It comes from the biological identity of a female being a mother, but a man can also be a mother. Please understand. Motherness or motherliness is not based on biological identity. It is based on the gendered sensibility, actually. Otherwise, how fathers can upbring mother? There are so many single fathers who are upbringing daughters, actually. How can they do that, actually? So here it is expressing that red feet is expressing what? That motherliness, that pure motherliness, actually. She don't even want to bring the logics. Just imagine, again, to imagine her karuna, actually. She decided to keep, to keep it to herself, actually. It seems Bhashakara is saying that if something is there, kept, we will be pushing and pulling with our leg, right? Actually, we'll push and pull with our leg when certain things are arranging things and all, we will use our legs to arrange. So similarly, when everything manifested and everything, she immediately thought, it seems, oh, I have to keep this to myself, actually. She just pulled it and her with her leg, just like that with her leg, and she kept her leg, it seems. Because if it is go to somebody else, all my children's already, coming to this material world, they are all suffering so much. If it is go to somebody else, then the life will be much more miserable for them. So let me keep it to myself, actually. So one day or the other, I will bring back all my children to me, actually. Let me keep this completely to myself, actually. Because if somebody else is there, I don't know, they will come back, they will bring my children or not. I want all my children. If today or tomorrow, I want to be with my children. So let me keep with me. So she has just pulled it with her leg and she placed the leg on her. Though it's a huge job for her, actually. 24 bar into 7, she has to run the administration. But it is fine for her. Because why? Because she loves us. Unconditionally, she loves us. And she wants us back to her. Back to her means not after quitting the body. Even when we are in this body, she wanted us to be back to her with all her consciousness, with all her understanding, with all our evolution, actually. So that's the reason she has kept that Ratna Ghatam, all the laws, the Navanidhi, under her feet, actually. And that is what is the Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam. And also, this that's Rakta Charanam, and all, and there is Rakta Charanam also tantrically. It also has a deeper meaning in Kola Charam, which means what? It means that Devi has kept that Ratna Ghatam filled with Amritam, it seems, actually. Filled with Amritam, Madhuhu. Okay? And when we go to Shripuram, when we will reach Shripuram, it seems that the first thing when we reach there, the first thing she does is she takes Amritam and she feeds us, it seems, actually, welcoming us that finally you have come, please have the Amritam. That Amritam is also a sign welcome drink that she's giving us. That's also a sign of a motherly affection she's inflicting upon us, like the way we do, right? When we go, Amma will feed us something, give us a glass of water or a milk or something like that. Like that kind of a motherliness she's giving that Amritam. And the third idea that is evolving is that is the longevity, that we have acquired the status of being permanent residents of Shripuram, and there is no coming back, actually. So we are having that Amritam and we are living there forever with her, actually. And that is described in the Ratna Gatastha Rakta Charanam. Clear to all of you? Each and every word meaning is evolving for you. And further, Anima Dibi Mayukaihi, the final word. So what is happening? So now moving to such a space, and how beautifully Bhaskaracharya is describing this. This is like we all should be blessed until this stage. And we had the Amritam and we are seeing everything. We have reached there and we are seeing everything. And there at that stage in Shripuram, we are able to realize that Devi is in the Bindusthanam and she is sitting there. And from her, the tejas that is coming out is all the Animadi, Mahimadi, Lahimadi, Garima, Siddhi, everything is coming out from her, it seems. Okay. So, Bhaskaracharya is saying that at that point of time, the Vagdevis will be telling us, it seems. Okay, see, I have carefully got you until this space. What if you would have been caught with this Anima, Mahima, Lahima, and Garima Siddhis, and you have acquired those Siddhis? You would have just been there only. These are just like, the smoke that comes out of, incense that keeps coming out from her actually. And if you would have become a vasana of that, your Sahasranamam would have become a vasana of that, you should have also become a smoke and simply been there actually. With all these with these, you'd have simply lived there, showing a great pomp about yourself and to people around you. You would have created a nice scene for yourself. But see, I have saved you. I have brought the true essence of the Sahasranama, and I have brought you to the place where you're supposed to be by chanting the Sahasranama. Like that, the Vagdevis are ultimately telling us, it seems, that looking into what is, because from the Devi Shariram, the small smoke is emanating, it seems, small, tiny smoke. And the smoke is nothing but the Siddhis, it seems, actually. And if we are going to be caught up by the Siddhis, we are over and done with. Because I keep seeing students saying, Guruji, I started doing the mantra japam, and I'm seeing that whatever I'm saying, everything is coming true. When I'm saying something, it is happening. Oh, okay. Well and good. You're on the right track. Keep going. You understand what I'm trying to say? There's nothing, there's, if you're going in those dimensions, it's honestly, you have to be very, very cautioned. You have to think about the principles with what we are actually moving forward to. Are we looking for temporary solutions? Or are we looking for real permanent residency of not coming back ever again to this world or any of the world where we are feeling enough is enough actually? This question should be very strong in sadhakas, it seems. And this question should become sankalpam. And this sankalpam will bring in the Shakti to attain Sri Puram. That's what Bhaskaracharya is saying actually. Otherwise, the Sri Vidya Upasana, Lalita Sahasranama Parayanam, and everything, it will give everything to you. That is the reason the Dhyanam is also given, not one Dhyanam, four Dhyanam. And they are giving us the freedom. You choose. Now that you have got to understand, you choose what you want. And you move forward actually. In this way, the Dhyanam is explained by Griever to Agastya. And further, at the end of preliminary of explaining the Lalita Sahasranama Purva Bhagam, Griever is further explaining the Lam Ityadi Panchopara Puja as how to perform to Agastya. And in that, what is very important is that the Lam Ityadi Panchopachara Puja consists of the 5 elements: Akasha Tanmatra, Vayu Tanmatra, Agni Tanmatra, Jala Tanmatra, and Prithvi Tanmatra. There are five elements are there: Lam, Ham, Yam, Ram, and Sham. Okay, that is Lam, Prithvi, Gandham, Ham, Akasham, Pushpam, Yam, Vayu, Dhupam, Ram, Agni, Deepam, Vam, Amritam. Amritam is represented with Jalam. That Jalam itself is considered to be Amritam. In other words, Nevedyam. And Sam, that is Sarva Samarpanam actually. Sarva Samarpanam. So all the students will be understanding. Those who are getting trained in the Navaha Parayanam series, they would have understood it better. Others, you will be there going on there. Those who are going to enroll for the systematic Upasana, you will be coming to understand this much in a better manner. So these are considered to be the 5 Pancho Upachara Puja, the basics of the puja that we perform actually. And it is all associated with the 5 elements, all the 5 elements. And what Bhaskaracharya is explaining to us is the 5 Swaroopam, the Pancha Tanmatras, and these Tanmatras are coming from the Bhutas, the Adi Bhutas, that is the Pancha Bhutas. And they are the Jataswarupam. Jataswarupam means they are the lifeless forms of the Bhagavan. They are the lifeless form of Tripurasundari. As far as she is considered, it is lifeless for her there. Here it is full of life. This world, it is full of life. You understand? The 5 senses that came is not a kind of an objective understanding for Shripuram, but here it is an object of importance. The five elements are very important for this world, actually. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? So, what is happening? Though it is, though it is coming from her and though it is becoming important as far as this world is this world is considered, we as sadhakas realizing this, we should also get into that kind of a margam, that is our sadhana, to make these as jada shakti, that we are beyond these, beyond these panchabhutas, and we can raise beyond these panchabhutas and we can go back to her. In other words, we offer these, which is the medium, that is a panchabhutas are the medium. Through these mediums, let me offer back gandham, pushpam, dhupam, deepam back to Devi herself, actually, because that is the medium in which she has kept me, right? So with that same medium, I will send back all these elements to her, actually. How intelligent, na? It is like நீ அப்படி போனா நான் இப்படி வரேன், if you go that side, I'll come this side, actually, you go that side, I'll come this side, actually. So through these mediums, we are because we are made of these mediums, yes or no? We are made of the panchabhutas. So that panchabhutas are getting transformed into these items, and we are offering it back to her. And what is happening in that, in 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 these tanmatras, shabdam, hearing, which is related to akasha. Shabdam is related to hearing, which is related to which element? Space. Sparsha, that is touch, it is related to air. Rupam, that is seeing, it is related to fire. Rasa, taste, it is related to water. Gandham, that is smell, it is related to earth. So what is happening? Everything that is supposed to put me back into this world, I am sending it back to you, and I am receiving it back from you so that I will remain in that consciousness only. Being in this world, I will remain in your consciousness. Got it? I am in this world only, but still I will be in your consciousness only. That is sabda sparsha rupa rasa gandhatmaye namo namaha. So all these elements that is there in me, which is binding me to this material body, to this material world, everything is becoming you yourself and your tattvas. It is no longer independently associated with my egoistic, individualistic, miserable identity that I carry. No, it is all coming back to you, and I belong to you. I am a part of you, and I am coming back to you. That consciousness it is establishing. So like this, it is explained that you perform Karanyasaha, because this is a Lam Ityadi Panchopachara Puja. Once you initiated with Mantra Japam, it is performed in the hands itself. It is not that you offer it directly as Gandham, Pushpam, Kunkumam and all. That is Pratyaksha Puja. You perform with your hands and you invoke, because the senses, the five senses which is there, you invoke it through the Japa Shakti, through the Upasana, and you offer it back to her, actually. That reason it is all these are rolled from, they have different fingers, and we use those fingers and we roll it from lower to the higher mediums like this, actually. And all these things can be taught to those who get initiated and those who do systematic upasana, basically. And that way we do. But at the basic level, it is done as a puja. We apply gandham to Devi's portrait or the murti, then we apply pushpam, we apply dhupam. Now you understand, it is not a simple puja, students, that you do. You are fighting a huge battle, actually. You are fighting, with all these smaller items that you are offering. It is a huge battle of your own material existence. You are actually fighting, you are getting into that space, that cosmic space with her, actually. Being in this material body, using those materialistic things, you are creating a larger dimension in the cosmic space, actually. You are creating rather an exclusive space for yourself, actually. And that is what is basically a puja, That offering is all about what? You are offering your own self through that puja. It is not offering certain, certain ritualistic objects and trying to derive something from her. Maine ye kar diya, I offered this puja, please give me whatever I am praying. Please, it is time that we evolve from those dimensions actually. This puja is nothing but you are performing the puja to your own self. Because aham Lalita, Lalita is within you. Lalita is in the cosmos, that is fine. Lalita is in the Shri Puram, that is fine. But Lalita is ultimately where she is. She's within you. And this puja that you perform to the portrait or to that murti is nothing but you are offering to your inner self, though you cannot do that, or though you are not in an understanding to do that, you are doing it on the deity actually, or the vigraham, or the murti, or the portrait. So in this way, the explanation is given to Agasthyar, and the Dhyanam is coming to an end, which means the Purva Bhagam is coming to an end by the grace of Parashakti. I hope this has been a beautiful journey to all of you. Moving forward, there's a very important announcement. Please don't be disappointed. We will be not continuing with Lalita Amritam series now because we have started with the admission cycles, and we have acquired more than 500 applications already, and there was a lot of emails that is coming in that because the Lalita Amritam already the sessions have started. They are feeling that they are missing the sessions because the classes have started already in a way, because I thought I will do it as a bridge course, but since it is actually announced to be a part of the next semester course, which is starting in July, so I will be starting the explanation of the Lalita Sahasranamam from Shri Mata, Shri Maharagni, from the July onwards. July, once actually the Mahavidyalaya course starts, we will be taking up there. But before that, over this point of time, I'm going to bring in a lot of concepts from Sri Vidya fundamental theories, from Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, and a lot of other stories from Sri Puram, and about Devi's devotees, and so many other things I have planned for already for you. It's not that we are not going to have classes. We will be having classes, but I'll be teaching and talking about other concepts in these 2 months as bridge course. In July, at the end of July, when we begin the new semester, where we are teaching not just Lalita Sahasranamam, we are also going to do a yantra, mantra, and the tantra perspective of learning the Saundarya Lahari, chanting the Saundarya Lahari, drawing the hundreds of the yantras, and meditating on each of the verses, and trying to do that as a kind of a systematic sadhana. That is also part of the course. We are having our the important course of our Mahavidyalaya, learning the Devi Mahatmyam, that is also part of it. And interestingly, having the Sri Vidya fundamentals in terms of the Upasana, where we are introducing the Kamakshi Kamakya Stotra Mala actually. So we are teaching all these stotras that is coming up. And apart from that, we have what is called as the back to foundations. Here we are talking about Lalita Maha, Tripurasundari, Kamalatmika, and all these concepts. But we don't know about Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati, who are the basics actually. So we are going to go back to the basics of the foundation. There's a lot of stotras, there's a lot of mantras, there's a lot of theory, technique, and everything that we are going to teach from August 1st to February. That is the semester actually. So we are doing all these as semester because there are students who are studying it as a systematic course, and everything we teach for absolutely for free. And classes progress from one class to the other, the teachings progress. So the Lalita Sahasranamam, the Lalita Amritam will continue at the end of July once we inaugurate with the new academic session of the Mahavidyalaya. Till then, the new course, the new bridge course timetable will be announced. Stay tuned to our community. And if if you have actually applied for the admission, you should be sending your entrance exam. We have an entrance exam. There's a question. I'm looking forward for the answer for each one of you. You will get a reply, and then you will be formally a part of the Mahavidyalaya system. You are welcome on board to learn actually. Thank you so much. I hope this is useful to all of you. Let us continue with further classes. Please stay tuned for the timetable that will be coming up, and attend those classes and get, the bridge course is supposed to prepare you to understand the concepts further. And that's the way I'll be designing the bridge course, and I'll give you the timetable to you. Thank you so much. Let's finish the class with Mangalam. सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरि नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते जयन्ती मङ्गला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वदा नमोऽस्तुते Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarvam Shri Chandi Mahalakshmi Arpanamastu. Tathastu. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskar.
Thank you, Guruji. Pranam.
Thank you.
Namaskaram
Namaskaram,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Namaskaram Guruji.
Guruji.
Namaskaram Guruji.
Namaskaram Guruji.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Namaskaram Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you Guruji.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram Guruji.
Kylan, it's not necessary that you have to wear only red clothes. You can wear other clothes also.